Hey, it's Greg. I'm now making a second part to that first video about that engine I got, and I found out the exact problem, and I found out that there's really no hope of fixing this thing. It turns out that the whole problem was originally they ran it with no oil. So the way it works is it pulls oil in through a sump at the bottom of it into the crankshaft here, and the pump forces the oil through this little hole right here, and then it goes through. This is hollow. And then comes out of these two to lubricate the pistons on the connecting rods anyways. And then the leftover oil comes out of the upper piece here of the upper shaft. But apparently there was no oil coming out of that, so it's severely scored all around there. The upper shaft seal has burned a hole, or like just burned itself onto there. There's about 3 millimeters of shaft play here, so there's no hope for this engine block or this crankshaft. And after that, I found out where all that carbon inside of the cylinders was actually coming from. It turns out that as the oil was being pressurized from the pump and it leaked out of this seal here and was sprayed all over the intake of, well, not the intake, the inside of this flywheel here. And that just caused it to build up like this. You can see here. And after that, this engine uses some of the air from its cooling system, this big fan here, which went on the flywheel. And as it took some of that air for the cooling system and it actually blew that into the intake as sort of like a small supercharger sort of mechanism. But as oil was in that air, oil was being pulled into the carburetor and then was being pulled into the cylinders all the way from this upper seal here. So that's exactly why the cylinders are so burned looking and there's so much carbon on all parts. Although I haven't found out why that one connecting rod was bent yet, I'm still going to look into that. But it turns out that just because he didn't put oil in it for maybe 5 minutes, it basically destroyed the engine completely. So I don't think I'm going to be able to fix this at all. But on the bright side, I didn't spend any money on it, so it was a good learning experience. Well, I'll see you guys later.